Welcome back to Hotel Talk, and today I have with us the lovely Helen Christofides, who is our front office manager here at St. Raphael Resort and Marina. She has been with us for an amazing 36 years this year. I can't believe it.
This month.
Wow. So Helen literally has known me, can we say, since I was like -5?
Yeah. Probably. Oh my God.
Anyway, I was definitely a little girl here running around this hotel. So, oh my goodness, if there's ever proof of a family business and a team, really being a team and a family, this is it. So Helen, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for being on Hotel Talk. I know you're out of your comfort zone, but it's fine. So we laugh a lot with Helen, we always have, but having a microphone suddenly here is, it can be. A lot of guests feel like that. So we're not gonna make this a very long episode, and we're gonna ask Helen 3 main questions as well as the bonus one. So the first is, why did you get into the hotel industry? And within that question, what do you love about it the most?
Right. By accident was the reason I got into the hotels.
How by accident?
By accident, because a friend of mine wanted to apply when it was Sheraton.
Here, so you were living here. So 1 minute, okay.
Yeah.
I
was in Cyprus.
So Helen's English Cypriot. So you grew up completely in England.
In England, was born and raised in England.
You went to Greek school, I imagine, like every good Cypriot girl.
No, I didn't actually.
So you're Greek, you learned it when you came here?
Yeah, from my parents, because they're both Cypriot.
You were living in Cyprus.
I was living in Cyprus, got married in Cyprus, and then a friend of mine wanted to apply at the Sheraton. So she said to me, "Can you apply?" I said, "Well, no, I'm happy in my job." She said, "No, let's go and apply." So we both came, did our applications, applied, and I got the job and she didn't.
Imagine you applied for the same position.
No, she applied housekeeping and I was front office.
And how did you choose front office?
I was in purchasing first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was employed in the purchasing department, and then I transferred.
Are you still friends with this friend?
Yeah.
Do you laugh about it now?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
36 years, like, you set me up for this.
No. She came for an interview here a couple of years ago again.
And still didn't get it?
No, she wanted to stay where she was. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, interesting. So what do you love about it?
About my job?
Yeah.
Everything, every day. Every day is a different day. Literally, I always keep telling you and you laugh about it. I've never woken up one day to say, I don't want to come to work. I get up, come to work, can't wait. And I come to work and I do my job. Every day is a different day.
But I think that's the amazing thing about our industry is that it's
never
literally
the same.
For everyone, in every department, any employee that works in a hotel will say every day is different.
Every day is literally different. You apart from the briefings at 10:30, everything
Which
is
again,
different.
the discussion is different.
It's different.
Well, it's just the time, but
Yeah.
everything is different. The people you see, people are on different shifts. You're never with the same people.
Yeah.
It's
Never
not the
with
same
the
guests.
same guests, never with the same people.
And the circumstances
Definitely.
are different. You might say, okay, we've got a group arrival at this time, and yet things will go wrong, which we love. And I think that's something so interesting about.
That is something that I don't want to say I love things going wrong, but I love correcting things. When guests have complaints,
problems.
I love solving their, and it makes you feel really good as well because they're coming on holiday. Mm-hmm. They're like paying our salaries, aren't they? So they have to be happy. They have to leave happy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's something definitely with our industry that maybe now is being broken down slowly. I know there was obviously the release maybe 20 years ago now, Hotel Babylon, and now there's other documentaries and films going out, or series being made about not just 40 Towers, bless, which was you know an exaggeration, but on very real things. Like we can all identify with that. But I think now it's even the Savoy in London has done like behind the scenes. So instead of this very like uptight, hotel facade that we all put on, it actually is the real, the drama, the mistakes that happen, the problem, that's what we love. And that's why we're in it. Yeah. It's so true.
And I can't even imagine of being in an office every day. Sorry, office people. But really, it's definitely the job for me.
So is that why you've stayed in because It's not just that
why
you
I've
stayed
stayed in one hotel.
Yeah.
If you don't have a real reason to leave, would you just get up and leave from a job if you're happy in what you're doing?
Yeah. Well, some people do, though, don't they? And we've always
but
said
I
that,
always
like,
think
why?
it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't know. And I love it here, and that's why I'm here still.
Yeah, because many people, and we've had that in your department where people have said, oh, I'm really happy and it's like family, but I want to try something new, or the grass is greener. And you've always said to them, yeah, but watch out because you don't know. And invariably, everyone has called us, haven't they, when they've left?
Exactly.
Everyone.
And we've taken a few people back.
Sometimes,
as well.
Yeah. When we can, and
whenever we can, whenever there's a vacancy, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. But I know for many people listening, or just people in general, people are like, wow, 36 years in one job, in one. But as you said, it's not the same job.
It's not the same every day.
Yeah.
Not the same. Apart from the place. You come to the same place, but everything is different. Once you enter the doors.
Even that, we renovate, we change, we've done different things. Yeah, it's so true. Okay, come on, front office. That is like front office. It is really front line. Anyone who wants to book anything, complain about anything, get anything sorted is calling your department and is there physically or calling. So how many funny stories have we had over the years?
Too many
that we can't even remember.
Come on, I'm trying to think of some now. Really trying to think of things that happened.
Well, I'll interject with one that I always remember. When I oh my goodness. Okay, we're going back like maybe 20 years. I just started working. I was duty manager. For those of you that don't know, someone's got to be in the hotel all the time. So there's always a duty manager, and I was duty manager that night. And I think I was about to leave, and it was after 11, which is normally when we leave. And front office called me and they said, okay, there's a lady, she's just arrived, she's complaining, she doesn't like her room. And I said, all right, well, move her room. We had some vacancies. They said, we've already done it 3 times. And I was like, what? So she'd moved. So I spoke to the lady and I said, oh, why didn't you come down and I'll meet you? No, I'm not coming down to see you. She was very adamant. I said, okay, shall I come up and see you? No. Again, aggressive tone. I don't want to see you. And she kept insisting, I just want what I paid for. I said, okay, madam, well, what is it that you've paid for and that we haven't delivered? She said, well, I paid for a sea view room. And I said, yes, and we've moved your room 3 times and there's sea views. And she said, no, and I want to see the sea. And she was really insisting. And then I was like, oh, it's midnight. We don't pay to light up the sea. It's just there in front of you. You just can't see it now. And then she was like, yeah. And finally I calmed her down. I said, just go to sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, you're going to see the blue sea. And that's what, and she never complained. We never saw her again.
But we have a lot of cases like this. It's night.
Yeah.
You're not going to see the sea.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But we have a lot of back of the house fun as well. It's not just front of the house with the guests. The guests are there. It's also fun at the back of the house. Different stories.
And laughing with your team. Yeah. Let's say about without names, but I mean we've had one story that I will never get over, and I think it's just shocking, was when we got a call from one guest saying that they had a baby crying in the next room.
Ah, yeah.
Let's say that story.
That was one of our guests had left her baby in the room.
Yeah, 8 months old.
8 months old, and the poor baby had
pooed
everywhere.
Yeah, and I think didn't have a nappy on or had taken off.
I think he had a nappy on, but he had taken it off, and it all leaked through, and it was on his hands and all over the baby cot. And she'd left him in the room.
Napping and thought it was okay. Yeah. And it wasn't. And we had to go upstairs. We had to go
clean the baby.
And we never enter a room just one person. Everyone, if you're listening to this, not just our hotel, but any hotel, always have at least 2 people with you, to make sure that there's witnesses, that there's,
and then we had to clean it all up, got the baby, stopped crying until we found the
poor
mother.
Baby, yeah. And then the mother appeared like nothing.
Nothing had happened.
And not even there was no thank yous. She wasn't embarrassed. She never said thank you to anyone afterwards. It was shocking. It really was a shocking case.
Was awful.
Yeah. And I remember, now we're saying about having witnesses. Do you remember, Thrasos, if you listen to this, do you remember when there was a woman once, I think she was drunk. And there was a problem. We had to literally get this woman from the bar up to her room.
Oh,
and Thrasos went to basically tell her, you can't leave your room. You can't come and drink more. And she attacked Thrasos. And he was our food and beverage manager before. He's retired now. And literally started like clawing him with her fingernails. And the guy was scratched everywhere. And he's not a tall man. But he did not push back. He was like, I'm a man. I would have been accused of abuse. So he just stood there. He froze, this poor man, while this woman's like scratching him and screaming. And then he like closed the door on her.
I remember. Really bad.
You were going to say another one.
No.
Come on, Helen.
No.
Helen's too embarrassed to remember. Guys, on this podcast, I've had other hoteliers and I've been like, and remember when? And I've had this.
And then,
like hand movement.
It was a bit rude.
We like some rude stories. Guys, their hotels are full of stories of affairs, which we'd never say, dodgy business. I mean, we see some.
There was one guy that actually came and he had a reservation and he was a dodgy business. And he came to reception and he said, I have a reservation. And we knew who he was because he came quite often. And this one receptionist, he was said, your name is? He repeated his name and he said, now the man's saying it really quiet. And your name is? And he was like this. He said it about 3-4 times. And the man like got red. And I said, please, whatever your name is, it's this one. And then he had to check in and it was like, he was so embarrassed.
Because he didn't want,
he didn't want anyone knowing. But then the whole lobby heard with this.
Oh, I guess one of our team was, oh my goodness, Helen,
so
loud.
Well, like it's not now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's so funny. I remember as well another case of, and that was before GDPR and everything, but she was clever because she called the front office or reception desk and said, I'd like to speak to Mrs. So-and-so, so no room number. And she was put through. And Mrs. So-and-so answered, but of course it wasn't Mrs. She was. So Mrs. Smith, let's say, called up the hotel, said, I'd like to speak to Mrs. Smith, who's staying with Mr. Smith. So they put her through to Mrs. Smith, and Mrs. Smith, who was the girlfriend, answered, and the woman went mental. Yeah, and so that was quite.
We had a lot of cases like that, and a lot of cases where the wives would come and wait in the lobby.
And well, that's one of the things that I dealt with the glass elevators. We had a lot of people sneak out through emergency exits, and oh my goodness, so funny. That reminds me of Basel 40, the 40 Towers, where he's looking at the people checking in, thinking they're there for a dirty weekend. Yeah, the stories, guys, are just amazing. They never stop. But the fun thing about hotels is really, as Helen said, the people. Like, it's the core team that are here and that support each other, and that make each other laugh on a daily basis.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah. And some of yours have worked with you for
many years, over 10 years.
Yeah.
Over 10 years.
Oh, it's so nice. Right. Bonus question. Dun, dun, dun. Pick anything. I'll read it to you. Oh, Helen's picking two. Sneaky devil. Never enough. One is never enough. Okay, so. Okay. If you could change one thing about your parents, I think that says, what would it be? Parents. Yeah.
About my parents?
Yeah. And actually, well, you got this. Other people on this podcast, we've spoken a lot about their childhood and their parents. So maybe it would have been, more relevant for one of them. But yeah.
What would I change? I would have thought when I was younger for them not to be so strict when we were in England, because they were really, really strict with us.
Yeah. I guess that's normal, isn't it? That generation. And
probably.
Being Cypriots living in England.
That was like our one reason for escape, to come to Cyprus. So,
all of you?
Well, no, just me.
Oh,
me and my sister.
But I thought all three of your three sisters, aren't you?
Yeah, but one went back.
Oh, okay.
And she came late and went back. She was married when she came.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But we came single and then married here.
Yeah. Well, and then, okay, we won't go into that now, but also, you were a single mom raising two beautiful daughters. So it was tough, but you always say that the hotel industry gave you...
helped me in many ways. Apart from the support of the people I was working with, they helped me with my hours. I was more flexible with my hours. No complaint.
Sasha also said he was on this podcast having split shift, which many people think of as not a good thing. Said it was amazing as a dad. Come in the morning, get to have, a big chunk of the day with the kids and then come back later. So
it definitely helped.
Yeah. Definitely. So listeners, if you are young and thinking about an industry to go into, we'd recommend it, wouldn't we?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. No other industry.
And everyone else, come to St. Raphael Resort and come and see Helen's team. You can reserve any time. Say if you say, "Oh, I listened to Helen's podcast, give me a special prize."
Yeah, definitely.
She'll arrange it with her team.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Helen Moore.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Have a great day. I'll see you upstairs in 2 minutes.
Okay. Thanks.